Taking a bit of a wander around the aquaponics today just to bring you folks up to speed on a few things that have been going on. How's it going, folks? It's Rob here. Today I thought I'd just take you for a bit of a wander around the system. We might sow a few seeds out and give you a look at some of the plants that we've already got on the go. And at the end, we might have a bit of a chat about a competition that I'd like to run just for some subscribers out there. So without any further nattering on, I'll give you a look at the fish. So with the fish, just to bring you up to speed, this tank here did have the jade perch in it. I posted a clip about 2 weeks ago now, I think, just on how we harvested these guys and got them ready for the freezer. And this tank over here did have all the silver perch. Last weekend Bianca and I got in there and we divided them into 2 batches, so we've got about 24 over in the old jade perch tank and the balance is still in there. So these guys over here, they haven't been feeding too well, mainly because I've been using up the rest of the sinking feed. I've got them on the floating feed now and they're just taking their time to chow into it. But these guys here who stayed in their tank, they've been hitting it fine. I did throw a little bit in just before, but I don't think we're going to see much action. These guys are a little bit shy, as I said, so I did drop the camera in before, which probably upset them as well. Just getting a little bit of vision to finish off the clip. That's enough of the fish. The rest of the patch is going really well at the moment. These little dwarf bush beans, they've done really well. They've got a very pink flower on them. I think it's the first dwarf bush bean I've grown with a pink flower, but there appears to be a number of little pods that are set, so pretty happy about that. We've got a lettuce here that's trying to do its best Christmas tree imitation till the flower spikes went out. This is just one of the little red coral lettuce that was growing in the pavers. I transplanted up here, so I will be saving seeds from these guys because I do like them. In this bed here I have planted out a couple of new bits and pieces. Over there is a red stemmed celery and there's another one just down in here that is starting to be overgrown by oregano. These guys came from Chris. Thank you very much, Chris. He brought up a whole heap of plants including some tree collards. And these guys here came out with another seedling I pulled out for a different garden, so decided to pop them in the aquaponics. This little fella over here, as you can see, is rather shaded, and I do need to chop off one of the branches of that perpetual spinach, so hopefully it'll get a little bit more sunlight. I was going to string up this little cucumber down here before I started filming, but I forgot, so I might just go grab some string and a clip and we'll do that now, hey? Just to show you how I've set up this twine first, I have one piece that is connected to these 2 bits of top hat. It's just finished off with a clove hitch on the far side. And then I've tied a couple of loops, whoops, where are we, in the baling twine. And then just got this little bit that comes down to the plant itself. Now, what I'm going to use to hook these on are tomato clips or cucumber clips. I like this style here that is UV stabilized. I was given these guys probably 2 years ago, and after 2 years in the sun, these guys are pretty much all toast. They just break so easily, I wouldn't waste my money on them. These guys here, we've had probably 3 or 4 years and they're fine. Not a problem with these guys whatsoever. I've used them over and over again, so well worth paying a little bit extra for. So how these guys here work is they have these little jaws at the back and you can put your twine through there and it locks in behind those little teeth. You close it up, little clip locks in place and it doesn't move, it's secured on there. So what I'd like to do is support this vine just below this set of leaves here. So it's getting a little bit windy here, hopefully we won't hurt the plant too much. Just going to pop the twine behind those 2 little teeth there, or jaws, close the clamp, and there we go. Might also get this tendril and try and wrap it around here just to help support it. Bring this one around as well. I don't think it'll want to grab on, but you never know. So there you go, that's pretty much well the little rig I'm using to support this one. And then as it grows I can add more clips onto this little section here, and then eventually hopefully it'll grow across the top of the shade house above this bed. So pretty nifty little clamps these. I reckon they do an excellent job. I actually need to buy some more because I've used up the majority of what I've got on tomatoes and a few other plants. So we'll go around the front of the grow beds there, but rather than fight the perpetual spinach, we might come around this way. Just to let you know too, the Aquaponic system has been pulled down and we're actually going to gift that to some friends of ours. I decided to set up a big 300 plus litre, about 100 gallon a root pouch garden here instead, because this is about the only flat space we have in the yard that the builders won't need to run over with their machinery when they do the reno. So I thought I'd just set it up here for now, but eventually this will just be an aquaponic area. So I have a few other projects I'd like to set up there as well. There's the trough bed or the deep water culture, but we're just playing everything by ear in case we need to shut the system down when they do the renovations. Just around the front of the bed here, we have the perpetual spinach. This one here has gone massive all the way up there. Loads of flower heads on there, so hopefully we'll get a fair bit of seeds. This one here we've still been harvesting feverishly, and as you can see, it's still a wall of green. Bianca said we might as well just come down and just strip it right back, as well as some of the other charge you'll see in a minute, and freeze it and maybe give some to parents and friends and whatnot. Down the front here, this oregano has taken right off and is booming. Just here we still have Grandma Beetroot. She's doing amazingly well. I disrupted her roots a couple of weeks back and she was looking a little bit sad, but she's taken off again. Just to give you some idea of her size, that's my hand against her. So we're actually thinking about having a bit of a competition, guessing competition with that one. So more details at the end of the clip, folks, if you're interested in having a crack and you're a subscriber. The next bed here, just that perpetual spinach. It sort of does make a statement, doesn't it? Look at that. But it's going really well. It's got a couple of branches over the back that have fallen over. I snipped one or two off before. I need to snip that one off as well. It's just sort of knocking out some other plants. I was contemplating leaving this one because, as you can see, if it's laying down and sending up small little flower spikes, it might be easier to control. Down here is the beetroot I showed planting out about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was a little bit slow to start, mainly because we had some warm days and they weren't shaded too well. But since I put up this shade cloth, they've just gone leaps and bounds. Just there we have some rabbit ear lettuce from Forget-Me-Not Seeds, another one over there, and this little one down here. So they're going to fill in a couple of little blank spots there. I don't really want to plant too much in there, just in case that rosemary needs to come out over the front there. And over here, the Brazilian spinach. We've started to harvest this fair bit of this one for salads. It's really liked a little bit of sunlight. If you don't remember, this was just a wall of green of Okinawan spinach and a few other bits and pieces. So it's got some light. It's actually starting to do really well. And I just noticed over here on the perpetual spinach, you have a hitchhiker. So you can come off, my friend, and you can meet the boot. If only we had chickens. So just in the next bed we have the celery. I'm nipping some of that off for tonight's lasagna Maya wants to make up. Down the front of this bed here I have some tomatoes, some strawberries. Don't know why I was going to say tomatoes. These guys are just leftovers from the root pouch garden, and at the end there I have some thyme. This is different to last year's thyme. It's a new plant. And over the back there I have a mixture of Welsh clumping onions and Chinese red shallots from Jeff Harriet. What I might do is I might pop a few seeds in here. I think I might go with a couple more rabbit ear lettuce and just a sprinkling of carrots. So I'll just set up the tripod. So what I got here is some of the seeds that we collected from Kira's carrot a couple of years back. I might pop these guys up the back. Generally they grow fairly long roots, but what I've done in the last couple of sowings of these in the aquaponics is I've pretty much all harvested while they're being young. I really don't like letting them grow too deep. So they're a pretty clean seed. I managed to winnow off most of the chaff. There is a little bit in there. But all I do for sowing carrots, it's pretty easy, is just sprinkle them on the top there. Don't really want too many clumped together. I think I've actually overdone it. We might sprinkle some over here. And then all I do is just pat the top of the clay. That works some of them down. Others will stay near the top. Some will go too far down and will rot off, but I mean, with the amount of seeds we've still got to go with these guys, I'm not too concerned about that. Just in this area here in front of them, I'm going to do a row of dragon carrots from Boondall Seeds. These are an online vendor that we use quite a bit. Just a loose sprinkling, might come over towards the thyme here. Do the same thing, pat them in. It's as easy as that. Not all of them will germinate. And just down the front here, if I can find the seed packet still in my pocket, we've got the rabbit ear lettuce from Forget-Me-Not Seeds. I'm just going to grab 3 or 4 seeds at a time and just sow them in a few different spots. mainly because these guys here are also a very, very small seed. Just a pinch here, another pinch here, pinch there. Might do a pinch just along the front here as well. Just tap them in, and the leftover will just sprinkle in the middle. So there you go. That's how I like to sow out seeds in the aquaponics. As you saw a couple of clips ago, we also do the seedling method as well, raise them in punnets. But I think with lettuce and carrots, with the amount of seeds that you get in a packet, it doesn't really hurt if you spread them a little bit thinly over the top. Just pick up all my seed packets here, make sure none's empty into the bed. So I'll just go for a bit of a wander around the back of the bed now. So just here we've got some rainbow chard, and we've got more of it over there. We've been pretty much all trying to weed through these guys at the moment because they were crowding out the onions we have just down the base here. And also too, they overgrew some onions I had over there, and actually they rotted. They just weren't getting any sunlight. So one thing that I have noticed is we're starting to get some more Okinawan spinach come out just in the corner of the bed down in here. So hopefully we'll be able to control the caterpillars on them and they won't chew through too much. I still haven't taken out that jalapeno over there, but I will get to it at some point. And just behind this bed here is where I'm going to plant out the ginger in the 2 flood and drain barrel beds that will be controlled by an external bell siphon. They will be cut down about 6 inches or 15 centimeters as well, just down to that height. I'll just set up my camera and give you a bit of a look at what's in the bucket here. Just in the bucket here, I've got all my bits and pieces. I was down here earlier just mucking around with it. We're going to have a bell, of course, and a standpipe, and this will pretty much regulate the height of the water in the grow beds. Through the base of the bucket, I'm going to have a uni-seal, and that will take the line into the sump tank, which is over that away. At the front here, I'm still not sure how I'm going to set it up, mainly because the holes in the barrels are at 2 different heights. And what I'd like to do is try and equalise the water in the grow bed so they fill and they drain at the same time. I'm actually thinking what I might have to do is enlarge the diameter of this pipe. It's a 25 or 1 inch pipe at the moment. I might take it up to 1.5 inches or 40 mil bit of pipe work. We'll just wait and see. But what I'm planning on doing is using these little cuffs to join the pipe, no matter which type of pipe work I use, because they just allow you to have a little bit of flex in the line there. And if I'm trying to marry these 2 bits of pipe work up to join in a T-piece that will run into the bucket, I think I could do with a little bit of flexibility there. You can also use things like this here. This is a food grade nylon hose. If I can pop him over the pipe work there, it does the same sort of job. Hose clamp on there keeps it in place and gives you a little bit of flex. This one's actually off the old fish farm, so I'm recycling bits where I can. Yeah, just down in here, there will be the uni-seal at the front coming off a T-piece into there. The water will fill up, the trigger off the siphon, and all that magic happens inside the bell there, and the water's taken off down into the sump tank. Pretty basic setup, and I think the ginger's really going to like this area. As you can see, it's got a little bit of dappled sunlight coming through in the afternoon. Just quickly, for you Aussies, just wanted to remind you that I sell these uni-seals. I've been told I'm one of the cheapest there is for backyard aquaponics, so hit me up on that little link above. That actually takes you to a website, blog page actually, just gives you a bit of a price on these guys. So suss that out. If you're after a couple of uni-seals, I might be able to save you a few bob. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm up to on this little jobby. Had a few people ask where I'm up to, and it's just one of those things. Other jobs make it to the list and need to be knocked off before I get to this one. I'm actually supposed to be around at Mum's doing her system today, but she's a little bit crook and didn't want to infect us, so told me to stay at home. So there you go. So I hope you folks enjoyed that little bit of a wander around the aquaponic system and just a bit of a look at some of those jobs I had to knock off today, and also too the plans for those 2 barrel beds over the back. Now though, it is contest time. If you'd like to go into the draw to win a $25 gift voucher to use at Root and Ramble, they're the fantastic folks who made this t-shirt here. What you need to do is guess the weight of the beautiful old lady beetroot in the bed next to me. Now, this old lady has been in for quite a few months, but she needs to come out. She needs to make room for more plants and also let the light through to the little red stalk celery behind her. We're going to be making some lacto-fermented beetroot out of her, by the way, for you folks who are interested. Now, to go in the draw though, what you need to do is guess the weight. You can either guess it in pounds or grams. And what you need to do is email that to the address below in the description underneath the heading contest details. Please don't send it to any of my other email accounts because it won't go into the drawer. I don't check them all the time. Sometimes it can be weeks before I go back to different accounts. So just the one listed in the directions below, please. So what will happen is the person who is closest will basically get the gift voucher. If there's more than one person who has guessed that weight, they will go into a draw and I'll pick between however many people are there, just pull a name out of the hat, and they will get the coupon. So how I'll be weighing it is, I'll basically be taking off all the stems as close to the beetroot as I can, so it is just bare root. Bare root, no stem, and no leaves in the weight at all. So just to give you a bit of a heads up in case someone's going to come back and say, oh, but I guesstimated with the leaves on. No leaves or stalks will be involved. So there you go. Good luck to everyone that enters, and remember, just use the email account in the description below, none others, they will not be accepted. So there you go. And for you patrons who are watching this but don't check the wall over there, might pay for you to pop on over and have a bit of a gander. I'm posting daily videos and photos as well as a separate contest for you folks, so pop on over now and see what you've been missing. I do hope you've all enjoyed the clip though, and if you want more aquaponic videos like this in your inbox, you can click on that little subscribe button down there and you'll be sent a notification whenever I upload an aquaponic clip or one on the soil patch to our YouTube channel. You can come along and say good day in the comment section below. I do hope you're all well and happy, and I will catch you next clip. Cheers folks, have a great one. So I couldn't just leave it at that folks, I've got to give you some sort of an idea on how big she is. She's roughly, I'd say around about 13 inches, 33 centimeters. From this section here, there may be more root underneath, I'm not too sure, but from that section there to the top sprout, little knob where some shoots are coming out, and her width is roughly 20 centimeters or 8 inches from this side here to where there's a little sprout on the other side. As to how deep she goes, I mean, that's anyone's guess. That's all part of the fun, I suppose. So there's my hand for reference. She's sounding pretty solid. So yeah, I don't think she's rotten on the inside. I haven't seen any spongy bits. Nope, she's feeling pretty cool. So there you go. Remember, no, all these stems will be coming off. It'll just be this root section by itself. Got to be in it to win it, and I'll be calling out the winner in about 2 weeks' time. Cheers, folks.